something a bit different, which is a delegation report back. These are people who went with VSC to Venezuela in March of this year. Okay, so put your hands up. Catriona, who is student Friends of Venezuela and a former student in Venezuela itself. Terry Hode of the UCU. Mike Sargent and Danny Coleman, my mates, Unite, and you're all going to come in with a couple of minutes of your reflections on the trip and share your first-hand accounts. I think this is going to be great, and by the way, a bit of a plug here. Hopefully this will inspire some of you to consider joining the 2013 delegation to see Venezuela for yourself. I myself have visited Venezuela with Francis O'Grady, and I would strongly recommend visiting the country and being able to give eyewitness accounts. So, Catriona, you know what you're doing, I hope. So over to you.
Hiya. Yeah, so I spent a year living out in Venezuela, and I was studying at the Bolivarian University, which is one of the new universities that's been set up under the Chavez government to make sure that all Venezuelans can go to university completely free of charge. So I had a really fantastic year out there, and I've been back a few times since. And my last trip was with the delegation in March, and it was nice because I could see, more progress since my last trip, and just see ideas that that people have been talking about actually being put into practice. So we had a really packed agenda. We were there for about 10 days, and we met with trade unionists, MPs, women's groups, just a whole range of people, and also went to visit schools and hospitals, universities. I don't want to talk too much about it because I think these guys can say more about it, because for most of them it was their first time. So I've been a few times, so it's what I wanted to say was 2 points really. While we were there, everyone was talking about the new labour law, which was being drafted and was passed on May Day. And it was part of a huge consultation process across the whole country. In the end, about 20,000 proposals submitted by different organisations as to what should go into this new labour law. So while we were there, that sort of was the focus of everyone's time, was debating and talking about what workers needed and what they needed to be put into law. And yeah, it was passed on May Day. There's a leaflet around which sort of gives you a few points of the main points, what's included. So things like full trade union rights, the right to strike in solidarity with others, reduction of the working week from 44 to 40 hours, a guaranteed 2 days off a week, obligatory overtime pay at least time and a half, maternity leave was extended from 12 to 20 weeks, and paternity leave is 6 weeks, the end of outsourcing, which is a huge step, double severance pay for unfair dismissal, and much, much more. So it's a really progressive law, and they're working really hard now to make sure that everything that's in the law is actually put into practice, and workers have all those rights and protections. And then the other area that I wanted to mention was housing, because the time I'd been there before March, people were talking about the need for housing. There's been huge floods, and many people were in refuges because their houses, people who lived in the barrios in the slums on the hillsides, their houses have been flooded, hillsides had collapsed. So there are thousands and thousands of Venezuelans without a home. So this huge mission housing program was started up to make sure that all these people had a home, a decent home. And everywhere we went around Caracas, like spaces which I'd seen had just been empty spaces were suddenly blocks of flats. So it was really, this whole city was changing. And we went to one area which was just outside Caracas, where they're sort of building a whole new city. So we met with people there who not only had got a brand new house, and the houses were lovely, we went inside, and 3 bedrooms, spacious, really quality housing, but they've got a new house, and many of them were also working on building the rest of the houses that were being built, the schools, the clinics, they were even building a university to make sure all the public services were there, making sure there was transport, proper transport for people, a new highway. They were going to extend the metro system so that people could get into Caracas easily for work. So it was really inspiring, and people were so proud of building themselves, their new communities. They had a real sense of pride about it. So that was really, really inspiring. I don't want to go on anymore because I really think these guys can probably express even better than me. But I would really urge you, if you haven't joined VSC, please join VSC. We need your support, especially this year. This is a crucial year with the elections coming. And I mean, Venezuela just shows that if you invest in public services, you can make a change, and it's investment, not cuts, that we need. It's investment that's really going to change things. Venezuela's economy is growing, and that's because they're investing. And so I urge you all to support Venezuela. If you get the chance to go, see for yourself, and I'm sure you'll be inspired.
Enthused by that enthusiasm, you need perking up. That was great. Thank you so much.